Hey everyone, and welcome back to Formgivning, a GreyBoulders podcast. So today we have with us Michelle, an architect here at GreyBoulders and the head of our model studio. Michelle, hi.
Hi, hello.
It's good to see you.
Well,
My name is Ruth, and I'm also a member of GreyBoulders. Today, we're diving into a topic that's shaping the future of Nigeria's construction industry and its professionals. Our industry is booming, yes, but we're facing a serious skill gap. New graduates are ready to learn but lack experience opportunities, and senior professionals are stretched thin, actually. So, in this second episode, we're exploring how construction firms can build a stronger talent pipeline through mentorship and structured trainings. And let's start by understanding the current trends, the current landscape in the construction industry in Nigeria. What do you think about how the landscape is?
well, if I were to define it in one word, I would say booming. Booming because there's a lot of construction that goes on every day, whether it is whether we are like demolishing, whether we're renovating, whether we're repurposing, there is always something that is making, I would say, yeah.
That's true. Definitely. Nigeria is in a constant state of change. So let's also, what would you say are the biggest gaps in skills in professionals, in young professionals nowadays?
Okay, so as a young professional myself, I would say that one of the biggest gaps when it comes to the construction industry would be the transition from education to the workforce. Because right now in our curriculum, what we learned, so if you, for example, you study architecture, what you graduate with is a BSc or a BTech, correct? And most of the time, they're very theoretical courses compared to like BArch, which is more hands-on and practical. So the transition is, even though it doesn't seem like a big deal, it's also something that I would say causes a gap, kind of, right? Because you are taught a certain way in school about how they should be in theory. You're not taught that your client does not have the luxury. You're not taught that, the developers don't really care for, so and so. So I think maybe just that transition, it's a big, it's a very, very big like gap.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So now let's talk about what young professionals actually need to grow in this industry. My question for you here is, what mindset or work habits make someone like a young professional stand out at this stage?
So to stand out, really, you just need to be hungry for knowledge. I would say that. So it's is in taking like every opportunity you have to work at a firm and just understand, because then I'll go back to what I said earlier about like the transition between school and like the workforce and the professional body. You think you're not wrong, but it's not enough. It's not enough. So when you attach yourself to firms or construction, or you're just in spaces where you learn more, it definitely makes you stand out. Because as a fresh graduate, if you're coming to work, it's not going to be strange to you anymore. So as to hungry for knowledge, and always attach yourself to just every single time you have, try and, so maybe not even graduates now, talk in general. Every time you have, try and just consume more things. What are people using now? What is better for the environment? Yeah, exactly, stay current, because then you have answers to questions nobody has answers to, or fresher answers that people just don't know. So I think it's just, yeah, I think it's just that.
Well said, really. Okay. So, apart from the gaps now, what skills should construction professionals develop, either digital or their soft skills?
So I would say that you have to be very diplomatic. So it's not just with clients. I think even with your boss, has to be very diplomatic because you have to know how to tell the person who's listening to you that you hear them. Like for example, I'll use this one with clients because we do construction, right? You have to find a way to tell them that I can hear you, I hear you, because they really want to be seen and heard and listened to. I want to tell someone that exactly. I want to tell someone that I want an aquarium on my roof, but like that's not quite possible, you know. So you have to be able to tell them that. Well, I hear that. That's a beautiful idea.
However,
Exactly.
exactly.
It has to be a bit. It's not even in a sneaky way. It's just in a
Informative.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're telling them that, oh yeah, that's a great idea, beautiful, but maybe because of your budget, maybe because of where we are in like Nigeria,
Yes.
this isn't quite possible. But I will.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe even give them an alternative. Something
Exactly. So
similar.
I think being diplomatic is a great skill, and just being more like just try and deliver on time, be effective. It's not just about okay, I do good work, okay, but like are you easy to talk to, because then that's how they would come back to you, that's how your boss would like you better, etc.
True.
That is for like soft skills. Then with software and maybe digital like stuff, you need to, as I said, be hungry for knowledge. You know how to use everything, like the quote that says jack of all trades but master of none, which is still better than a master of one. So it's important that you're able to know Revit, know Lumion, ArchiCAD, AutoCAD, everything, because then you're moving forward with like even, and it's not just oh, I like designing, I don't want to know how to visualize. You have to learn Lumion, you have to learn Corona, Ray, and then it's not even just what is used in your climb. It's like abroad they use a lot of grasshopper, rhino,
Yeah. Diversify.
diversify. It's not easy and it's a lot of work, but if you really want to stand out, it's something you just have to chest.
Nice one. Really well said. Okay. So let's get into what the organization can do. Now we've looked into the professionals, we've looked into the states. So let's come back to what an organization can do. How effective do you think internships? I know we've touched a bit on this, but how effective do you think internships, mentorships, graduate trainee programs are in this field?
So I would say it's quite important again with internships, right? When you get into the workforce, it's not quite strange anymore. You're not like I didn't know that this doesn't happen, but now you know literally because you've interned for a period of time and you kind of understand. Even with graduate training programs, because of your training under an organization for a period of time, you know that okay, at so and so company, this is how they prefer their things. So you're kind of tailoring yourself to what they need exactly. So I think because with architecture, lots of things are very objective. A lot of things are very objective. So it's not just, there are different ways to do a lot of things that still work, but with organizations, it's very different. So with these programs, you're tailoring yourself to what the organization needs, and I think it's a lot of more people should do that.
Definitely. Okay. So let's bring this down to real life experiences. Do you know a young professional who grew quickly in the industry, and what helped them succeed? What did they do? How did they behave? You can use yourself as an option. You can use yourself.
Can I use myself as okay? So if I'm talking about myself, because I know me,
Yes.
I'm talking about myself, I would say that it's just trying to put in the work when you can. Really, just do you want to know? Are you willing to listen? Are you actually willing to learn? Because again, with architecture, it's very because that's the sector of construction I'm in. It's very objective, so you have to be willing to accept correction.
That's true.
If you personalize correction or being corrected, then you're hindering yourself, because how big do you think you are? Think about that. Like, how big do you think you are that you can't listen to someone else say, oh no, this should be this, and then you're angry? Like,
Yeah.
so I think personally, I listened to correction, but I did not never really internalize anything. It was just an opportunity to be better, because that is the aim of fear. You're actually always aiming to be better. So I would say with me, I did not internalize any correction or any, whatever. I just tried to always accept the correction. And then a lot of, like, I'll give an example of my friend. It was just always busy, always working, always looking for this to do. She was never really idle. So I think for me, I would say listen to corrections, and for her, I'd say was just always having a drive.
That drive was really important in this industry. Thank you so much, Michelle. So, next question. What, on the other side, now we've talked about the organization in this aspect. On the other side, what are the common mistakes young professionals make in this industry that would make them fall back?
Mistakes. I would say, if we're talking about young professionals, it would always be going for the money. Because architecture is very interesting. You have to put in a lot of work, correct? And sometimes the remuneration doesn't seem equal. When you equate it like that, I'm working for so, and the money is so. Would you really learn? Like, then you're like, I don't want to do this. I want to start my own thing. Oh yeah, no.
Limiting yourself in that way.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to be humble enough to realize that you need to learn. You have to be humble enough. So that's a lot of time it's money. They're like, no, I'm not getting paid well or whatever, and then you completely block out everything, and I want to go, but that's not how it works. That isn't it. To be a big person, to be a big firm, to be better, you have to blame. So it's just to actually, people, they say a lot, you actually have to get you get the experience. Experience is very important. So I think that would have to be it. And then not thinking you know a lot. So it's with, like, learning the softwares and all of that. Just don't feel like, I don't know how to use ArchiCAD. I'm not learning. Sorry. Sorry in advance for you. It's just to, I think so. I would say those two things again, very intertwined. So yeah.
Thank you. That's a really good answer. Okay, so we're wrapping things up here. Let's talk about practical steps, the way forward, basically. What can young people do today? Like, what can they do to stand out from the crowd? Because our industry is saturated and there's a lot of people. So what can you do as a young professional to stand out?
So one way, people don't like it because a lot of people are shy, but it's putting yourself out there. So you have a lot of design you have in your wardrobe on your laptop. It's just who is looking at it. How to take advantage of what we have, and that is right now social media and the internet. So if it is using Instagram to post your renders or your works, or Twitter to everyday I'm an architect, or see this size plan, just always put WhatsApp stories. My boss says he calls his WhatsApp the marketplace. I think that's quite interesting. So just using the internet that we have at our disposal. Everyone is able to connect to the internet now. Using it at your disposal to push yourself out there, sell your market.
Yeah. As an architect, as a construction professional, engineers as well.
Sell your market.
Nice. Okay. What would you tell younger Michelle coming into this industry?
Younger Michelle, I would tell her that you're in for a long ride. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. A long but a fun one.
Yeah, very interesting, very fun, and still a blow, right?
Thank you so much for being here with us, Michelle. We're really glad to have you. And this is the end of episode 2 from Evening. Stay tuned for more.